it's Joy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a card for Maker Forte where I am looking at building masculine backgrounds, and for that I am using the Finder Compass die, On Track stamp set, Distress Plaid stamp set, and the In Paris stencil. The inks that I'm using are Frappe, Fog, Flat White, and Uncharted Mariner. I start out the card by bringing out the plaid image from the Distressed Plaid stamp set. There are two other white rubber stamps in that set as well, which is why I am distinguishing that I'm using the plaid. And for that, I ink that with the Frappe, followed by the Flat White and the Fog. And I'm just going for a kind of an ombre effect. I do come in with a blending brush just to soften the lines so that I don't have any harsh marks from the ink pad. And I apply pressure with the ink smushing tool by Maker Forte to get a good impression. Now, I didn't love the Frappe at first, so I come back and I ink that up a second time and put down another layer of that, and with that I overlapped into the into the Flat White, and I really do love the way that came out after that second application. Next, I bring in the In Paris stencil, which is just the outline of the streets of Paris, and I'm using Distress ink in Uncharted Mariner using a blending brush, and I apply that over the entire front panel because I want the main color of my panel to be blue. And I just take my time applying that so that I get even coverage. Now remember, Distress ink is a dye ink, so these do layer nicely with the Color Hive inks. After that, I decide to blend the Flat White along the edges. And ultimately I do that because I feel like the plaid is a little bit too harsh in the background, but by applying the Flat White, I am kind of making the plaid just kind of sink further back into the background. And the reason that's important to me is because I wanted everything to kind of blend together and meld. I wanted the illusion of layers without anything sticking out abruptly. And you're going to notice that I spend quite a bit of time with the Flat White, and eventually I end up probably adding more of the Flat White except for the dead center. And the reason I leave the center bright with the white shining through is because eventually I'm going to bring in that compass image, and I want there to be contrast so that that pops off the page. So I hope that that makes sense. If you have any questions or anything, obviously let me know. While I finish the ink blending, I wanted to let you know that on August 12th, there's going to be a new release party with Maker Forte that Alex will be doing. And on August 19th, Carrie Van Noy will be doing a Foiling Friday event. And on August 27th and 28th is the Crafter Party virtual weekend retreat. So we've got some big things coming up in August. Also, there is a free printable calendar on the website so that you can always have access to this information. I hope that helps and you're excited as I am for the August events. Now you're going to see that using Eclipse Black paper, I die cut the compass die, and using my crafter's wand, I am poking the holes. Now this is an intricate die, so I only show a little bit of the weeding just for the interest of time and not to, devalue yours. So again, I am using that crafter's wand, and that comes out very easily. These cut nice. I love how deep these are etched so that we get good impressions. I am now taking that same die cut and using embossing glue ink, and I'm haphazardly applying the ink and then applying fine detail gold embossing powder that's from my stash. And I am not looking for this to have full coverage. I just want hints of gold. If you want a gold one, I would suggest cutting it out in a gold cardstock or applying the powder very heavily. I just wanted this to look very distressed and masculine. Again, do it to your liking. This is kind of what I was going for, and I use my heat tool. I make sure that I have that heating up for a good 30-45 seconds off camera before I take it to the paper, just so that it doesn't warp or make those fine edges bend. Now you're going to see me coming in with the scissors to distress the edges. You can do this with a seam ripper, or I think Tim Holtz has one that was available at one point. I don't think it is now, but I find that my scissors works great. And I just wanted to give this card more texture and the feels to make it a masculine and kind of a distressed look. I then come back in with my fog ink and add the ink along the sides just to make that pop later on. Using the On Track stamp set, I stamped the sentiment: in life, you are either a passenger or a pilot. It's your choice. Isn't that perfect for our compass? Now I do come in and I glue this down to metallic gold cardstock, and then I mat that to an Eclipse black card base. If you have stuck with me this far, I really do appreciate it. I would love it if you would consider liking, subscribing, and leaving me a comment, as I do read them all. And if you have questions or anything, I do come back and reply. Now I do use my ink smusher tool to get good impressions, or I shouldn't say good impressions, but I also do it to smooth out glue layers. That's just a little tip and trick. For my final embellishment, I add some gold baubles from my stash. Here are some last looks at my card. Again, I would love it if you would consider liking and subscribing to my channel. Until next time, friends, keep crafting. Bye-bye.